Imagine this. You and 4 friends leave a basketball game, laughing, carrying snacks, driving home. Hours later, your car is found abandoned in the snow 70 miles off course. Months later, searchers find your friends, frozen in the woods. One lived for 3 months in an empty cabin, stocked with food, but never touched a single can. And you're still missing. This isn't a ghost story. It's the real-life mystery of the Yuba County Five, and after almost 50 years, no one knows why they went up that mountain or what they found there. It was the night of the 24th of February, 1978, the kind of winter night in Northern California where the air bites and the mountains hold their breath. 5 friends from Yuba City, Bill Sterling, 29-year-old Jack Hewitt, 24-year-old Ted Weiher, 30-year-old Jack Madruga, and 25-year-old Gary Mathias, were about to step into a mystery that still hasn't let them go. They were close bonded over sports, routines, and a shared love for small adventures like basketball road trips. Each had mild intellectual disabilities or psychiatric conditions. They still lived at home with their parents. They weren't the kind to disappear. That evening, they drove nearly 50 miles to Chico to watch a college basketball game. Jack Madruga was behind the wheel of his turquoise Mercury Montego, his pride and joy, which he never let anyone else drive. After the game, they stopped at Bear's Market for snacks. At 10 p.m., witnesses saw them laughing and joking, carrying candy bars, soda, and a cherry pie back to the car. They climbed in and drove away into the night. They were never seen alive again. The next morning, families knew something was wrong. These men had set routines. They weren't reckless. Gary Mathias needed daily medication for schizophrenia. Ted's stepfather said he would never miss church on Sunday. When none of them came home, relatives began calling the police. 2 days later, searchers found their first clue. On a remote, snow-covered road in the Plumas National Forest, a road leading away from any route home, sat Madruga's Mercury Montego. It was 70 miles from Chico, and miles from the nearest town. The car was in good shape, not stuck badly. The doors were unlocked. The keys were gone. The interior showed no signs of a struggle, just wrappers from their late-night snacks, and Gary's neatly folded game program. The gas tank was a quarter full. The road it sat on climbed steeply into the Sierra Nevada wilderness, the kind of road you'd never take by accident, especially at night, especially in February. Then, the weather turned. A series of brutal snowstorms buried the mountains in white, sealing off the road and hiding whatever secrets it still held. Search teams had no choice but to wait. It wasn't until the thaw in early June that the forest began to give them back, one by one. On the 4th of June, a group of motorcyclists exploring the area came across a Forest Service trailer almost 20 miles from the car. Inside, they found the first body. It was Ted Weiher, stretched out on a bed. He was wrapped in 8 layers of blankets, as if someone had tried to keep him alive. His feet were black with frostbite. His shoes were missing. His beard growth suggested he'd lived for up to 13 weeks after the night they vanished. And the strangest part, the trailer had food, dozens of cans in a nearby storage locker, enough to keep 5 people alive for months. There was a propane tank, still full, that could have heated the trailer. None of it had been used. Ted had slowly frozen to death, surrounded by everything he needed to survive. Searchers fanned out from the trailer. A few miles back toward the car, they found the remains of Jack Madruga and Bill Sterling, lying on opposite sides of the road. Both appeared to have collapsed from hypothermia while trying to make it back to the car. 2 days later, under a blanket of pine needles, they found Jack Hewitt, or what was left of him. His body had been scattered by animals. 4 of the 5 had been found. Only Gary Mathias was still missing. Gary's sneakers were inside the trailer. His boots, the ones Ted would have needed to walk out, were gone. If Gary had left to find help, he never returned. If he died, his body was never recovered. And yet, people claimed to have seen them that night. One witness, Joseph Shones, was on the very road where the Montego was later found. His car got stuck in the snow that same night, and while trying to free it, he suffered a mild heart attack. As he sat inside, weak and cold, he saw headlights. Through the snow, a group of figures appeared. At least one was a woman, holding a baby. A man was with them, possibly Gary. Shones shouted for help. The lights went out. The figures melted back into the dark. Hours later, he saw flashlights flickering in the distance. Again, they vanished without a sound. The detail of the woman and the baby remains one of the most unnerving parts of the case. No one matching that description was ever reported missing. The families were left with impossible questions. Why had the men driven so far into the mountains? Gary's role remains the greatest mystery. Unlike the others, he had army training, survival skills, and a history of schizophrenia. Did confusion drive him to lead the group into the wilderness? Or was there something, or someone else, that forced them off course? Some believe that after the basketball game, the men may have stumbled into danger, perhaps a confrontation that escalated and drove them toward the mountains. Others suspect they were being chased, desperately trying to escape something or someone unseen. Yet when investigators scoured the snow for evidence, they found nothing. No tire tracks, no other footprints, no signs of a struggle, only the trail of 5 friends who had left their car behind and walked straight into the freezing dark. The Montego they abandoned was still in working condition, with enough fuel to make it back home. The road was difficult, narrow, and treacherous in winter, but not impassable. Why leave the safety of the vehicle? Why push deeper into the woods? Those questions remain unanswered, lingering like a ghost over the case. Today, the Plumas National Forest keeps its silence. The road where the Montego was discovered is still remote and desolate, cutting through tall trees and rugged slopes. The trailer where Ted died alone, wrapped in blankets and surrounded by uneaten food, still stands abandoned and rotting, slowly sinking into the forest floor. Time has claimed it, just as it has tried to claim the memory of what happened. Every winter, the snow falls again, heavy and endless, erasing the ground where they once walked. The forest covers its secrets with a fresh white shroud, burying whatever clues may still remain. Somewhere out there, in a forgotten ravine or beneath decades of pine needles, may lie the final piece of the puzzle, the answer to what really happened to the Yuba County Five. And then there is Gary Mathias, the man who stepped into the snow and never came back. His fate remains the greatest mystery of all. Did he perish, his body swallowed by the wilderness? The Yuba County Five remain a haunting story of friendship, fear, and unanswered questions. A reminder that sometimes the most chilling mysteries are not born of monsters or legends, but of ordinary people who vanish into the night and are never seen again. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Until next time, stay cautious and remain vigilant.